So local first development as a term is a little bit bigger than I think what most people realize. There's like several principles of local first software, lo-fi software. That's like you should own your data. It should live locally. You should be able to work without an account. It should have like the ability to pick up on one computer and leave off on another. There's like all these different principles of local first software. Also, like one of them is that it should exist in the long now, where like if somebody so and so shuts down the servers, your app isn't suddenly not going to work. It's just that syncing won't work. So there's a lot of like little like kind of niche explanations for it. But the way I personally look at it, because I think for most people, it's really just the data lives locally on your device in the client, whether that is an index DB or something else, and you load that data from the client initially, and therefore you're not having to go off to a server to pull in data. You're not having to hit the database like a remote database to get data, and therefore it loads like super fast. And likewise, anytime you mutate or query for data, it's primarily loading it from the local database first. And because of that, it gets to sync in the background, and the user ends up having like this extremely fast local feeling experience, like an iPhone app or something, because they're typically using like an embedded SQLite or something. And it's so nice that like I don't have to do fancy techniques like optimistic UI, because what I'm doing is I'm saving to the local database. It's actually saving there in the background process. It's going to reconcile with my database. There's quite a bit more there, like technically, like what it's doing behind the scenes, the conflict resolution, the syncing engines, how it's storing data, how it's versioning the data and stuff like that. But for the most part, you can think about it as loads the data really quickly locally, and then takes care of the rest kind of behind the scenes.